Hello friends and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything yet. We've still got the whole of Sunday to go. We're live from Los Angeles, of course, for the home series of our LA teams here. But first, we've got a really good matchup for you, don't worry. We've got Florida Mutineers taking on Dallas Empire. That is right. I want to,
I had to increase the drip level, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rich is actually looking good today. This is the best outfit he's worn so far, and you know, I couldn't have him looking this good. I had to take his glasses.
Yeah, YouTube, I want to know, what do you think of Rich's outfit today? I do want to know that.
I never missed.
Whoa.
Has he ever missed, guys? I want to know. I want to know. We need
Even
to talk
when we
about...
lose, we can't lose.
We need to talk about Dallas Empire because guess what? They can lose. We have seen it.
They definitely can.
Yes. We need to talk about, can they beat a good team? Like a really good team? Are they capable of this?
Well, let me look at it this way. Basically, I think that Empire, a lot of people have underrated them as a team because they started out with some very difficult schedules in early tournaments. And yes, they haven't matched up great against FaZe. They haven't matched up great against the Huntsmen. But who the heck has? I think that the bubble is absolutely massive in this league. I think this is one of the biggest bubbles we've ever seen with teams that are middle of the pack. And I have had Dallas right on that meniscus throughout the entirety of the year. And the question is, when is the bubble going to pop?
They've also played those teams more often, right? Because they're going farther in these tournaments. And another thing about Empire is like they're going to the very end of these matches. Like it's going like 250, 240. It's like 10 points in domination. It's really close maps. And if you look at the stats, like they're getting outslayed by a ton and still going to the end. So to me, it's just individually players performing better. Like they know exactly what they're doing. They have a game plan and they're executing and they're playing well. Like they're doing good in these matches. You got to think once those players get better individually, they get over that hump and it's more competitive.
And I think that one of the other things that we have to look at, it's not going to really come into effect at this tournament. Rambo Ray is going to have a huge impact on the squad.
For sure.
I'm very confident what he's going to be able to do. I'm excited to see how that would propel the team forward. But I think a lot of the, I mean, if anybody knows what Rambo Ray can do for players and a team, especially young players, it's going to be you. But I want to say I agree with you wholly. Dallas almost looks worse because they're so good. They have harder matchups because of how far they're going, and ultimately that makes them look like they're losing more against these top squads.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Nameless, you look elite. You talk elite on the desk, so let's just jump to game fuel keys to victory for Dallas Empire, pal.
Oh yeah, they got to keep with the consistency, right? We just talked about it. These guys are going to the end of these maps. They know exactly what they're doing. Their game plan works. It works for Empire. The players need to step up individually. I'm looking at Shotzzy. I'm looking at Illy. We see Shotzzy yesterday have a couple decent maps, but Illy was really underwhelming in those respawns. We need him to step up individually, and these guys will be fine.
It was nice to see Shotzzy slaying a little bit more. I think that the role is kind of coming into it now with this team, so I'm excited to see what he's capable of. Let's talk about game fuel keys to victory for Florida Mutineers.
Yeah, Pharaoh needs to show out again, right? Like in that last series, he was the X Factor. In their first series, they got destroyed. They played FaZe, and they all pretty much got bodied. But in the next series, we saw Pharaoh have some brilliant moments. He was taking over respawns, and that's what this guy is capable of. He has enough talent to be a starter in this league, and he's showing out for his team. He needs to do it again.
I look at what Pharaoh did yesterday, and instantly, once again, somebody pick him up as a starter if he's not going to stay on this roster. He is so good. He is such a hot commodity. And to come out and be an X Factor as a fill-in, this guy's he's a nut job.
Let's take a look at the US Air Force quick scope right now. Our teams head-to-head. Here are a few little stats for you guys to have a little look at. Sometimes it's difficult to read into stats, but I think here right now it's a pretty even playing field. I think Dallas Empire, with who they have on their roster, it's looking more likely to sway into their favor, especially with Pristini out of the count right now for Mutineers. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to lean towards Empire, right? Like there's just the roster that they have and what we've seen on them. It's been pretty brilliant so far. Like even in their match versus FaZe, like they look pretty good. So I'm going to lean towards Empire.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Empire as well. But I do want to say Florida's been one of those squads that has outperformed what I've expected of them consistently. And you also hear from the analysts a lot. They're one of the teams that's most likely to be making these upsets. I think Merc was one of the biggest advocates actually before Atlanta, saying this could be a team to shake stuff up. And we saw exactly what they were able to do. And damn, it was impressive.
Indeed. Now, there's your US Air Force maps and modes for you. This is what we're going to be seeing all series long, and it's about time to throw to our caster duo. The boys in the jumpers, it's Maven and Merc.
Oh, they look damn good.
God damn right we do. We're feeling good. This is going to be a fantastic Sunday here at the LA home series, and we're kicking it off with a bang. We're going to see what Florida, our team in the championship of the previous event, what they can do with Pharaoh. He was lighting it up last night in their second match in Dallas. What's their ceiling? How are they going to go toe-to-toe with them?
Yeah, this is one where I think if you're a Dallas fan, you just want to see them handle business, get to a semifinal. Where for Florida, obviously they beat New York last night in a pretty back-and-forth series. Pharaoh had a really good one, but it was the battle of the subs, and Pharaoh came out on top.
True, but it is time to introduce our teams. First up, let's see your Florida Mutineers.
Thousands and thousands of hours of hard work lead to this moment.
The Mutineers will go in with a small lead. The Mutineers will have the advantage.
Now they're on your point. Look how close it is, Joe! A millimeter!
What a round! What a round!
Florida trying to get it done with top prospect and super sub himself, Pharaoh, but they have got a mountain to climb, and that mountain are your Dallas Empire.
Gilbert on the flank, it's gonna be Clayster, and Clayster's gonna get bumped. 4 gonna drop 3. They're gonna get the clear.
You've got to go fast, you've got to go quick, you've got to go that way out!
It's chaos.
There is your Dallas Empire roster. They're just weeks away from their home series event and looking to make a statement here. What are the big changes coming in? The role change with Hook and Shotzi. Hook now your trophy smoke player. Shotzi gonna be running dead silence, just trying to get freaky on the map. It was literally interesting to hear him say, because he flat out said, he like tried to not say I want to be mindless or run around, but kind of said that like I just want to fly. I want to get kills, I want to put up numbers. And he did a much better job yesterday.
Yeah, he did a better job, but I think you heard Nameless talk about it on the desk. Illy did not.
Yeah.
We still need to see more from him, and I think it's one of those things where he's just taking a little bit more time to develop.
Well, sometimes, do you think that a role change between two players affects the other players not in the role change more?
I think it would affect Hook more than Illy, right? I mean, Hook completely, now he's running that smoke trophy, so it's definitely going to affect him more than Illy. I think Illy was already in that position where he could sort of do what he wants. We just got to see him consistently perform.
Well, the interesting thing about this matchup, Florida-Dallas, is that you're setting up for a semifinal that maybe you didn't expect. Maybe you didn't expect Optic Gaming with 0 points coming into this weekend to be waiting in the wind in the semifinal, but that's what you've got. Mutineers, Empire, battle for a chance to get into bracket play here on Sunday.
And well, right away, you're going to see all the Florida arrows. They're going to have to stop the pre-nades coming in through the middle of the street. Well, Clayster and Krim with those M4s going to cut a few players down as they get set up inside of cargo.
The drop shot works beautifully. Crimsix just lost him and got smoked. A nice play by Mox. Now Illy, the next man up, tries to find an opening through the smoke, not able to do it. So Mutineers, despite the early delay, they do a good job contesting in. I mean, you're almost 25 seconds into this hard point, 4 total points on the board.
Yeah, but that's a nice set of kills out of Dallas Empire. You see what Florida has to do. They're put in a position where they're spawning mid-map. And what do we want to do? It's going to be a 2-3 split out of Florida. The 3 players that go towards the hill, they're going to get taken down. Now it's on Pharaoh, it's on Havoc, it's on Skies on this rotation. Clayster, he's going to have his hands full in the back. He gets smoked out now. For him, it's just to play his life, and his teammates are going to spawn right on him. A big set of gunfights about to go down towards Back Cafe.
Good job by Clay just getting out, man. It's scary. You see that smoke pop in front, you know the subs are going to be flying at you, but he gets to a good position. And what was a 2-2 game? Empire get every second after I talk about how it was a good job by Mutineers getting in. Empire just dominates from that point. Now what can they do towards Cafe? Over to Shotzi's POV. Looking to chop one down, hit some shots, able to finish the kill with the hip fire and finesse his life. A nice snap onto Skies, but we know how accurate Skies is, especially from a position in top blue. But this is great from Empire. 30 seconds remaining, they can push open to a huge lead. If Florida are gonna play it this way, they better do good at Hazmat.
Yeah, I mean, Florida had the opportunity. They were spawning back pool hall. Yeah, they lost a ton of time on that first hill, but the second one, they had the close spawns. But Dallas, they just fought from inside the hill. They had hotel control. They fought from inside. They won those gunfights, and then they got control of blue, and that's now giving them about a 70-point lead as we're going to rotate over to Hazmat, the left side of your screen. That's where Florida's already set up, and they're doing a good job setting up around mid-map.
And I think maybe Empire views this as a statement game, because they got to a grand final, right?
Yep.
Back at London. They don't play at Atlanta. Florida gets to the grand final there, and I think there are people in the community maybe think Florida is a better team than them or on par with them. I don't think Empire views it that way at all. They might be trying to come in here, make a statement, really show who one of the top teams in the world is.
Well, I think if you did have Christina here or a little bit more time with Pharaoh, I think this should be a much closer match. But for me, with the sub, I think Dallas Empire should run them over.
They should. But Clayster not doing his team any favors as his Simtex takes out 2 of his teammates. The back spawns will be there for Mutineers, but not a huge deal with only 20 seconds remaining. You can think about the rotation now to shipping if you are Empire. Hook with a nice one-on-one win with a couple bullets and the grenade on the outer street. From the top rope goes Pharaoh, as he's not able to get the kill. But Mutineers a good job at Hazmat. They get back into it. They were down, what, about 70 points? They're going to bring this closer to a 20-point deficit. That's the exact hold they needed.
Yeah, but you see them in map control now that Dallas Empire has, right? Typically what we see on Hazmat is 1 or 2 players trying to stay from the Florida side all the way across the map towards Pool Hall. Not able to do so. They haven't even touched the hill with 15 seconds off the clock. Here comes the first push for Florida. Frosty pops dead silence, trying to get behind. He's going to find one on the shot team. What else? There's just so many corners to check. Is able to find the second, but Illy is there, but that might be enough for Florida to get in, and it is.
Yeah, Empire, they got the early rotation towards shipping side, and I thought they had it set up, but by the time they get tucked away in the back, Mutineers spawn close. They're able to flood. They're able to win those entry fights, and they get right into Pool Hall. So excellent job from Mutineers. Now, how much time can they turn this into? Frosty trying to make the play on mid-tracks, but not quite able to do it. It's Mox under the pool table looking for more, and there he's able to do it. What an answer from Mutineers. They keep it close. Now into Restaurant. What do we have? 3 players, I believe, from Empire. 1 tucked away in Havoc.
Yeah, I think he's just right above him. He's right above him, just waiting for his teammates, and now it's time to go. After Frosty and Pharaoh get those kills. Now we saw Illy in this position yesterday. This is where he went on a bit of a spree, but he gets taken down. Still, though, a lot of reinforcements here for the Dallas Empire, but here comes the contest. Here comes the Florida push, and Skies behind his 2 kills. Once again, an early setup break for them.
I feel like Empire, with how strong we saw them yesterday and holding early setups, they should be blowing away this game, but the early holds haven't been there. Props to Mutineers on the breaks. Hoop working to finesse. Frosty has his number with the headshot. Skies rips off Crim6's face, and Frosty with a lovely second. That's 5 in a row now for Frosty. 4 in a row for Skies. 17-9 from Skies. He is uber talented. He's showing it here against a, what you think would be a lights-out Empire team.
In Empire is actually lit on this rotation. You already have Pharaoh in a spot. You have Mox already in the hill. Mox has just been eating up time.
Well,
so this is great. I mean, Dallas, they were a little late on this rotation.
To be fair, Empire hasn't been doing good with the early rotation.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do better if they have to break in, because what was back-to-back hard points at Hazmat, Pool Hall, well, and sort of Restaurant, where the early rotation is there from Empire, but you ended up getting busted wide open. Look, it looks like it's been better for him there. You just, whatever team's rotating last is the one getting into the hard point and get the majority of the time. That makes a ton of sense, Joe.
Makes absolutely no sense, but Crim behind his 5-kill spree. They're able to get in. You do have 1 player trying to go all the way around. That was Clayster. He's going to get cut down by Havoc, and Florida knows they're just trying to keep this rotation for that second hill. With 15 seconds left, Dallas are going to have a solid lead here. But Crim knows coming up next is that cafe, and here comes a 3-man push up this river street.
Let's see if the trend continues, where early rotations mean nothing on St. Petrograd. You've got a nice setup, but it's the top street push. They're going to spawn there as well. It's a 4-man hit coming in. A lot of pressure in towards Mox. Wins that first one, but the numbers are still here. They're all hitting top. Most of the influence of Mutineers towards that bottom side of the map. So you can see the crossfire they've got set up, and Frosty and Mox do a good job taking advantage of that, but as the dust settles, you still have 1 player here
I mean, there was only one Florida player inside the hill. Like, you had that setup. You had 2 players top pool hall, so it worked out. But because there was only one in the hill, I think Dallas, they just flooded on through.
That's the number I was trying to call. I just couldn't see what it was because there was 2 like overlap there.
And so you had 2 at top pool hall, but even after all of that, these last 15 seconds, we are basically going to have a tie game here as Florida's going to get the rest of this scrap time. We're going to rotate on over to Hazmat now. Another chance for Dallas Empire, but you can already see the Florida arrows getting in this position.
They gave up that scrap time. They just wanted to go, so they'll still be down 16, but they try to fight across the map. 2 players in Hazmat for Empire. The mid-map battle seems to be going the Mutineers' way, at least for now. Can somebody answer back? Well, yeah, they do in a big way. That's 4 in a row coming out of Crim, Shotzi, and Clay as they take control of mid-map. Skies, though, accurate as always. He gets 2, but the rest of his team kind of drops around him, so it doesn't turn into much. We've now got almost half of this hardpoint done. Every second to Empire. No pressure to Hazmat until right now. Now is the first big push from Mutineers. What can they do with it?
It doesn't look like much. That's going to be 4 down, and you already see the arrows. They're turning around. They're trying to get towards pool hall. Even with them spawning middle of the map, Shotzi kills 2.
That's the first really good hold we've seen from Empire, where you got there early, you locked it down. It started with what they did at mid-map. And look at the score difference. 16-point game burst into a 60-plus point game. Mutineers' game, I think, lies in this hard point. What can they do at pool hall?
Yeah, they have a great setup right now. Still Dallas Empire very far away. They had to deal with Pharaoh, who was still around that Hazmat area, just picking them off 1 by 1. Crim, he's going to be the front guy. Nice shots on the Mox, but Mox does a smart thing, just backs down. He's going to reposition, take down Crim's teammate and Shotzi. So Crim, once again, just has to wait for his teammates to spawn up. Nice headshot, but Skies again, another 5-spree. I don't know how many times we have seen that. He is 32 and 15. The main reason they are still in this game. The slaying power from Skies.
The kid is nuts. He's absolutely nuts. 32 and 15. Mox, though, Mox has been huge on this hard point because when he was in top blue, you saw how long he kept Crim kind of locked in that position. Then he gets into the hard point, gets multiple kills in the objective. He was big there.
Dallas, they're able to break through for about 10 seconds, so now you're only 29 points away from closing this out. Frosty, nice little turn and burn on the elite inside the hill. It's going to be Dallas Empire, and this is where we see those submachine gun players right behind those barrels who trying to finesse in the smoke, but he's going to get taken down. Now it is just a fight for control all around this restaurant hill.
Yeah, you're getting outslayed by about 15, too, if you're Empire. And you still have approximately this 30-point advantage. So you're getting outslayed, but you're coming up. Sky's obviously been putting up these numbers, but at Restaurant, it's Mutineers that had the early opening, but that's 4 straight kills now for Empire. Can they turn it into time? The trophy, gonna protect the map back far. Clay somehow gets the pick. I thought he was gonna get hit from the other side, but it is the nade from Frosty that finally shuts it down. Crim with 3 in a row at the bar. Won't quite close it out, but it's a big moment for Dallas to make sure Mutineers can't get closer. And if you take a look at the minimap, look at the bottom towards shipping, you've got everybody there from Empire, all 5 set up. Mutineers have had a lot of wondrous breaks throughout the course of this game. They desperately need one more, Joe.
Yeah, Crim goes huge, right? He just disrupts the setup, spawns them out, allows his team to rotate into this shipping area. They find 3 kills. Illy with the 4th. This is going to be the last push. I don't even know if they're going to get here in time. Dallas are so far pushed out, and it's looking like they're going to take map 1. Even with Skies dropping 40, they were getting outslayed, but the teamwork was on point for the Dallas Empire.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a look at the overall stats in a moment. I'm curious to see what the plus-minus was, but it had to be around 15 plus for Skies and Mutineers because he drops that bomb. I think Crim was the only one positive, somewhere around 30 and 21. So let's take a look at it. What was the plus-minus? Minus 10, minus 16.
I mean, it was just Skies, right?
Oh, so it's been 8, actually. So they closed it a little bit there at Restaurant. But I think when I first saw it, yeah, 15, 16, they get it down to 8. So not as big of a difference. But Skies, you drop the bomb, you just don't get the win.
And I think, too, even looking at like Mox and Havoc, look at the damage they put in. Very low compared to the rest of the one. I mean, Havoc only 2,100 damage.
Well, now let's take a look at the scuff play of the game. It's the moment from Crim6 at the tail end of that, because not only does he get the kills and what's a 10 to 20 point swing to make sure Mutineers can't get points, but these kills come at a crucial time because his teammates are set up so the spawn out happens for Mutineers. And I think you nailed it, Joe, when you said Mutineers can't even get close to this. Like, they didn't have a chance at shipping to get a break.
Yeah, and that was just a big game from Crim, right? When they needed some slaying power. He's been so good in Hardpoint. Like, he really has been really impressive throughout this year. And I think, you know, when we talk about consistency for Dallas Empire, Crim and Clay have been great, right? We're looking at the younger guys. When they step up, what happens to this team?
But now let's talk about kind of the other side of this too. When you look at Mutineers and Pharaoh, who is obviously a big change coming into this, I think I asked you in their first match yesterday, like, how quickly can these subs improve? And you thought it was difficult to happen over the span of an event. It's very hard to do. But Pharaoh had a very good series to at least close out yesterday. He's a big part of why they got to today. How do you think the quick turnaround happened for him?
Well, I just think they were going up against a New York team who also had a sub,
and not
right?
FaZe.
Yeah, right. They're not going up against FaZe as we talk about this. Yeah, I mean, we know that he is a skilled player. He even had a great game one. The worry that comes into it is the search and destroy. And we even saw yesterday they blew a bit of a game in that game 2 last night against New York.
5-2, something like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, Temp dropped 16. Obviously, you know, that can happen, or that you can't depend on that for happening. But we know Dallas is such a good search and destroy team. It's going to be a big worry. But yeah, I mean, Pharaoh last night, shooting some bodies, showing some extra love.
What do you think his future is?
I think he's going to be on this team after this weekend. I think Pristini comes back, and I think another player goes away.
Interesting. Okay, so you think Pharaoh's good enough to make it into the starting lineup?
Yes.
All right.
I think there are other players struggling on this Florida lineup, and I think you see another change.
Okay. All right.
At least that's what I would do.
Okay. No, it's good to hear from Joe. You obviously have a lot of experience.
You know, I was going to save it for hard points and stuff, but I'll go ahead and talk about it.
I had to ask. I had to ask what your thoughts were going to be, because I think that discussion comes to a lot of these teams where they're going to be going. I tend to agree with you, though. I tend to agree with you, but we'll see where the change happens. But we're now going to head to Arklov, search and destroy, a map that Dallas Empire have been solid really since the onset in Minnesota to kick off the league. Can they take the 2-0 edge? And I mean, props to Florida and keeping that close. It looked like a blowout early. You had Empire up 70. They won like 3 rotations in a row. To that point, though, if it wasn't for some of those crazy breaks from Florida, that's a 150-point loss. They had some. I mean,
Skyset was plus 20. That's the 4th best hardpoint plus minus this season. So he just had an insane game. And they still lost.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, just looking at this, I mean, overall, you have Florida 1-4 on this map, or Dallas 2-2. So definitely an advantage for Dallas, and we've seen some great maps.
I actually would have thought Dallas is better than 50-50 on this map. So that's
remember who they played.
They played Huntsman and FaZe.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Shotzzy. They're through with the first blood, but almost immediately his legs get ripped off by Skies. All the way pushing up outskirts, though, is going to be Crim6. They're starting to get a real presence around this B bomb site, and that'll be the plant in. Mock still lurking upstairs. Mutineers building for the retake.
Just so tough in this room, but a nice.
Oh, now it's not.
I mean, that's supposed to be a bait and switch, but
Havoc
he gets 2 kills. He gets 2 kills. I mean, we missed it, but he's able to find them. Still, though, they have to get this defused. It's Clay and Crim. They're set up with those ARs. But Mox is going to find one more. Havoc jumps to the fuse, and Skies with Havoc's retake abilities. They're going to win this round number 1.
The timing of that, Joe. It's just
How do you do this?
It's hard to retake this room.
Just bust through the door.
Havoc goes, hold that, Joe. Just flies on through. I don't know how the hell he got the second.
Well, I mean, what you're doing, the first guy in when he flies to the door, it's just to drag the auto aim, right? It's you plan on going down. It's a trade, right? You're the first man in, but somehow he wins both of them.
Yeah. I mean, you've got no cover. You're just peeling somebody off that bar. Nice play from Havoc in a difficult situation. The only kill you get as Empire is the first blood. That was it. You got the first blood from Shotzzy, not a single other kill from post-plant. That's pathetic. That just can't happen. Let's see where Mutineers look for their opening. Nobody really mid-map for Empire outside, I believe, the person's second story in Clay that's looking over from the B house.
Yeah, he's prone to it, right? He knows if he peeks, he could be in trouble. Crim on this mound. Just got to watch out for those nades. That's typically the only thing. You see those come in. There's one. It only takes one more bullet, and he would get taken down. Just wasn't there.
Oh, the flinch. I thought Illy had it right on the center of his face, but Mox hits the shots. Ooh, Shotzzy taking some shots, but gets out of harm's way.
Now you have 30 seconds, and they have to execute on a site, and this could just come down to this play. What can Røkkr find? What can he find? They're behind him. I imagine they had to have dead silence pop. Mox is going to find the kill, immediately gets on the plant.
They had to. I mean, he had no idea. Shotzzy just tries to get there quick.
You see the stun. The stun goes down. Mox was stunned. He had the trophy, not able to get it. Now it's down to Pharaoh in a 1 versus 2, and he's just going to back on up with this AR.
Shotzzy still has his dead silence.
Oh, and they have a smoke, too. I love that. He's just peeking it. But they're going to use that utility. He's going to hop onto it. He's able to find Clay. Can he find the shot? Can he find it? He runs out of ammo. He runs out of ammo. No! The defuse comes through. He just runs out of ammo.
Oh. Yeah, that's an ambitious shot with the pistol at that range.
It could have happened.
Yeah, and that, I mean, you've touched on that previously, that having that smoke is so crucial in that situation where they get that back broken house.
So many of these maps where you need a smoke if you want to retake.
He got a couple hit markers too, though. Like,
I think he got a few. Then he had to switch to Clay, right? He's able to, finish Clay off, and then he has to go back. That's when he runs out of ammo.
Clay just throws his body to the wind. The shot's like, I'm getting hit. Everybody behind cover for now. Illy can't find the angle, but working up Gulcher will be Røkkr. He's got dead silence popped, and here he goes. About half left in the tank. Can he reset it with a kill? He can. And there goes 2. The dead silence play from Røkkr. The nuke comes through and opens up Mutineers like a can of beans.
A can of beans?
I have no idea. That's where my head went, Joe. I got no idea.
All right.
I'm not talking like beans like in the UK. I'm talking like refried beans for some tacos.
Some tacos?
Yes. But it starts and ends there. Røkkr makes the play. 2-1 Empire will get the side swap through. Great start from Shotzzy at 5-2. Røkkr gets his first 2 in that round. Frosty and Crim6 both looking for their first kills in this game. Crim obviously coming off the big map 1. You expect he'll turn it around here. Still early in the game too.
Once again, you have a very spread offense from Florida, right? We've been seeing that more often. The only thing that gets a little bit scary when you do this, the clock. Woo! It can get you, but Illy, that's the first blood he wanted in the first defensive round. He's able to find it on the skies.
No flinch this time, right? You don't run into Mox's pre-aimed him before that smokes.
And I just like that, though, because he's switching up his angles. But look at this position from Shotzzy. I don't know if they know he's here. They may, the way they're positioning this. But even for Shotzzy, all he's doing is wasting Florida's time. They have to find him. Already half the round gone.
Here we go. This is the moment. Sneaky, sneaky.
And they had to tell by the door.
They're everywhere. They found him. He can't get out. He gets swarmed, and Shotzzy will drop. The door is cracked, and the read is there. Now Crim will rotate back to his mound, and those are some crisp shots out of the M4. Crim again able to snap. Now going to be a 2 versus 2. 15 seconds to go. They've got to work to get this plant down. Havoc is going to fly. Dead silence has popped.
There's just no time. He has to get the plant in. Has to get in, and the Røkkr's there. Yeah, Røkkr's going to go down, but
no
the other player is gone, and that's going to be another round. And again, yes, Shotzzy gets taken down, but as soon as they find him, as soon as they take him down, there's 30 seconds left in the round. Dallas then knows at that point they have to commit to that bomb site.
That is just an example of, again, the 2 minutes versus the 90 seconds. Like, you have those extra 30 seconds as a round in which you'll have a lot more setup on the rotation, but it's just desperation time almost once you think about going to the other site. They just have to go. But it's another round to Dallas. Pharaoh sniping outer at A, but if you take a look at the minimap, it's all up the gut now from Empire. The lone man here is Frosty. Frosty with the M4 in the sight. The rotation comes in. He's got Mox and Skies coming in help, but here they come through. Shotzzy wins that big entry 1-on-1. one-on-one. The rotation now here. What will Mox be able to do? They retook this beautifully behind Havoc earlier in the game.
Yeah, he doesn't have Daddy either. He has a trophy. Pharaoh trying to get one with the pistol. He gets taken down. It's Clay and Krim. It's Shotzzy inside the site. You know how you don't get breaking? You all get in the site, right?
Well, I think they tried to fix what happened in round one. Make sure they don't get broken.
Yeah, right. They tried to set up on the outer perimeter. Yeah. They had 1 or 2 guys.
Get in the house!
All 4 of you. It's our house now.
That was like my dream house, dude. Me, you, Teep, Crowders all living together in one BTB house.
We need a little bit of a bigger house, but yeah.
Yeah, probably. That
4
thing's not,
4 rooms.
No,
yeah.
We can share a room.
No.
8-3 out of Shotzzy. 4-1 lead now for Empire.
I couldn't imagine you and Teep living together. Actually, I think you
best friends. Best friends. Yeah, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Clay again from this top window, just trying to spot whatever information he can. Unfortunately for him, it smokes out. Here comes the peak. Shotzzy got smoked. That is a kill you've just got to get, is Havoc. Puts him in the dirt. Havoc is winning some hard gunfights this game. It's like all of his kills are not easy.
That's what he's so good at, right? And he continues as he finds the second one. That's what makes him and Pristini so dangerous when they're on the map together. They can win those entry gunfights at such a fast pace. He does get taken down, but he's still a 3 versus 4 in favor of Florida. Oh, yeah, stick him.
Nice
stick him.
Nice nade. Right onto his cankles. Crim6 blown apart, but now they soar forward. Hook only able to take down one. Tucked away is Florida in a desperately needed second round win.
Yeah, man, that just starts and ends with Havoc. Those first 2 kills.
That was a nice stick.
Yeah, I mean, he predicted it, right? Like, he threw it at the staircase.
Yep. I think he was thinking more just to back him up, keep him from pushing. Instead, just straps it on him. Empire 2 rounds away from a 2-0 edge in the series. Remember, this is a knockout match. You lose, you are done here at the LA home series. You win, you're into the playoff bracket.
Right back to B for Dallas. In the middle of the map, it's going to be Huku. Finds the first blood on the Havoc. Pharaoh, though, with a very quick response on the Hook. Still, though, it opens up the B side a little bit, but you can even see on the mini-map, look at the rotation. All the Florida players, they go back towards that B side. So if Dallas wants, with a minute left, they can still go towards A.
If you're going to do it, you have to do it right now.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it now, and they've done it. It's only Mox over here. Mox is going to have his hands full.
They got to go fast, though.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. You have one player middle of the map watching that rotation.
You have dead silence if you're Shotzzy. Now they got eyes. The nades are going to come in. You heard the other one cooking as well. Double nades over the top.
Mox dips, though. He
That's
dips.
a good reposition. Both those probably would have hit. He would have been dead to rights. But now Mox knows the swarm is here. Crim6 has the angle. Shotzzy pushes his left. And now as the rotation comes in, you still have a Røkkr. That's Clay, I think, all the way on the other side of the map in their house. So Clay cuts the rotation in half. Now you have a 3v2 for Empire. The lurk pays off.
Yeah, and Clay stays alive. So he's just all the way in the back now, watching the bomb defuse with that AR. Skyzy, it's taken down by Shotzzy. Shotzi's the one who got that plan in. Now just an impossible task for Frosty. Beautifully done by Dallas. They forced the rotation towards the B side with a minute left. They knew they only had one to deal with Mox, and the way they dealt with him was great.
Yeah, and even those nades, even though they don't connect, they reposition him.
Yep.
And it puts them right in the line of sight to Krim, who takes his head off at the site. And you saw it from Mox's POV. He was just kind of panicking, right? Like, you just, once those nades come in, you're like, oh, God, there's multiple players here.
Yeah, all he's trying to do is find one.
Yep. He didn't.
No.
Straight to A. Go Mutineers. Illy's going to have a chance to hit some shots. He's by himself, though. He is by himself.
He
just got spotted.
He doesn't care.
Well, now he cares as he is sent out of the round, but they had a heavy stack at B. I mean, to be fair, for Mutineers, it's been all mid-map and B pretty much all game long, right? There's been very little pressure early at A.
I mean, they sent like 4
but
players straight through the trench. Not something we see too often. Hook just trying to stay alive, getting wallbang. Pharaoh has to reload. But bomb is planted. Now a tough retake.
This was just a defensive gamble, I feel like, from Dallas. And the Smokey finds a friend, the hip fire there.
I don't think he spotted the second.
Yeah, another one in the gulch, and now he'll be shot in the back. Just Clay now in a 1v3, only 20 seconds to go, and he'll be cut down. So nice push there from Florida. They luck out in the sense the only person there is Illy with the sniper. By the time the rotation comes in, you've already got bomb planted in first blood. That round was over quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if Hook finds the second there, maybe there's a chance, right? That would turn it into a 3v3. If they have another smoke, they can try to hop to the fuse, but...
I think that's just a situation where somebody said on Empire, they're going to hit B again. Let's just stack it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the 2 rounds that Florida has won, it was 2 pretty crazy gunfights by Havoc, right? Like,
yep.
It's been 2 individual plays inside that B site.
Just waiting for the utility to come in. A patient round with 30 seconds already exhausted. They have a 4-on-3 here at this site for Empire. You've got numbers.
Just trying to find Mox. Nate hasn't been able to connect it. Now
That's going to stick him.
He
Right
got
in the
2.
face. Right in the face. Hook and Illy will drop. What a stick it is from Mox. That was a thing of beauty. That's the second kind of pre-date stick we've seen in this series alone.
Well, they forced a 2-on-2 somehow. Shotzi and Clay. The last 2 up, but it's Pharaoh who's already on the flank. And Pharaoh, he might be able to get this kill right now before the plant comes in, and he will. Now he just has to play his life. Clay, he's going to have to get to the bomb plant in. So try to get right back on it. They're going to give it to him. Trying to find the head of Clay, but it's going to be Havoc who cleans him up.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Pharaoh's position's given up, I think Clay's like, whoa, that's likely a round loss. Empire now at risk of choking as round by round Mutineers fight back into this. It was, what, a 5-2 lead? Now 5-4. Can Mutineers get us to around 11? But that stick from Mox, I mean, that shut down the push entirely. And that's just 2 frustrating rounds, I feel like, for Empire. What, you have just the wrong call, the wrong gamble on defense.
Yep.
Then you get stuck in the face. I mean, that's just 2 that are tough to swallow. $11 out of Shotzi. Pharaoh, Havoc, both putting up 8 for Mutineers right now. Super balanced on the Mutineer side. Pharaoh gets drilled as soon as he peeks that mid-map angle.
Now you have more of a normal round defensively, but guess what? Florida, they go right back towards this B side. Pharaoh's going to work middle of the map. The rotation's going to start coming in from Dallas. You might have a big one-on-one here at this middle alley between Illy and Pharaoh. They know each other so well. Here comes the peek. Illy trying to stay alive, buys enough time for Clayster to peek the top window, find the first blood. Beautifully done by Illy, but here comes the push around back. And I don't know if Shotzi knows there's one right under him. But he at least finds one before the trade comes in.
I think he knew. He's like trying to smoke himself out and just stay alive because he didn't really have many places to scramble. But now Havoc.
Well, his dead silence is about to pop.
Yep.
Or run out.
Just ran out. Now it's like, where do I go? I think they heard him by the way they're playing this. Still takes the one-on-one, but is that going to be enough? Frosty and Mox, it all falls to you to clutch in a 2v3. 20 seconds to go. You got to get bomb planted. Oh, my God.
That is so unfortunate for Hook. He was just he was just by the front door. He was just in the front door. Now Hook has to come on. At least wins the one-on-one. And the defuse is going to come in. I thought Frosty could have made the play.
That could have been nasty, man. He gets that. I wasn't sure if he had Deddy available, but he pops it, finesses in that building. Could have been nasty. I like the trigger discipline there to get the bomb planted, but in the end, it is Empire taking 2 close ones. Well, like a 50-point win in the Hardpoint, now a 10-round battle in search and destroy. It's been competitive. You can say that about most of Empire's series, though, so far this year.
Well, Florida's too, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
We've always gone the distance, but let's go ahead and take a look at the stats for map number 2. I think you pointed it was Shotzzy on the Dallas Empire side, and it was pretty balanced. I mean, Havoc had 9 kills. We know 4 of those came in very big moments where they were able to close out 2 rounds. But Dallas just a little bit better.
Are Florida playing them tougher than you expected, though?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, this is one I think, especially the Hardpoint. Like, you want to see Dallas running over this Florida team, and you just haven't seen that yet.
Well, Florida, they're playing them very, very tough, but it hasn't been enough to get a win on the board. It's got to start in the dom. It's got to be a reverse sweep. This is an elimination match. Domination up next.
Tournament audio and team chat listen-ins are brought to you by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix-amp of the Call of Duty League. Join the Astro family and pre-order the CDL A40 TR headset and Pro Team speaker tags today at astrogaming.com. The US Army. What's your warrior?
Welcome back. It is Empire up against the Mutineers. You're watching Empire right now, and their home series is around the corner. Honestly, what is better than Call of Duty League and barbecue? Probably nothing. But if you can't make it down to Texas for the Dallas Empire home series, you can catch all the action only on YouTube Gaming. Head to youtube.com/COD League on March 28th and 29th to see it all go down. That is a home series event that I am pumped for, but back to this series. We're going to take a look at the U.S. Army tactical play, and I believe this is where, unfortunately, Pharaoh just ran out of ammo, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, he has 40 seconds to play with. He's trying to stay alive. If he gets that kill, things are a little bit different because Shotzi's the one with the smoke. And we talk about this. When you retake this bomb, how important it is to have this smoke grenade. It makes it this much more difficult for Pharaoh, and you're going to see it here as the defuse comes in. Glacier, he's going to peek. You see the bullet trails, but just runs out of ammo. Shotzi with a nice defuse. We'll see it now in a little slow-mo.
It looked like Shotzi was in like the eye of the hurricane, like the eye of the storm there in the middle of that smoke, getting the defuse. But Shotzi A bit of a new role this weekend that's letting him run free, running dead silence instead of trophy. He wants to wreak havoc on the map. He wants to be up in your face, and we've seen more of that for sure. Shotzzy, I think, has been playing the best Call of Duty he has so far this year, this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he's been impressive in respawns. Another great search and destroy for him.
I think it's key though. Like when you are a young player like that, like if you're Crim and Clay, like do you want to mold them into something better? Sure, but right now, like just let them do what they're comfortable with, man.
Yeah.
Like just let them do what they're good at.
And again, I'm gonna keep talking about it. I think it was more of a mental thing, right? Where like he had the smoke trophy and was like, I have to be in the hill, have to be in the hill. Where I think Hook is like, it's not really what you have to do. You just have to get those out, and you can still play around that.
I think you simplify the game for Shotzzy here. You simplify for him. You make sure he doesn't overthink.
Right.
Like you're 100% right. Hook, you're fine with maybe overthinking or figuring out situations. He's been competing a lot longer. He's a versatile player. Now, we haven't seen if they're going to have the ability to get to a point where they can beat phases and your Huntsman, but so far against the rest of the competition, they're handling business.
Yeah, I think if they do get to the semifinal against Optic, that'll be a fun one, right? I think it'll be a big test for, I mean, for Dallas, the way we've seen Optic play this weekend, and then for Optic, how legit are they?
It was actually crazy when you saw Empire stats. They showed the overall map count.
Yeah, they were like,
it was like 15 map losses or 16. Yeah. 9 of those, or more than 9. Like they're basically all
they're 14 and 19.
Yeah, and they're all to Huntsman and FaZe. Yeah. Like it's just crazy. So it's hard to judge. But to Hackney Yard Domination, we go. We've seen this quite a bit out of the Empire side. They played it 5 times, so they're 3-2. So not maybe the most impressive stats, but it's a lot of reps, considering we've seen Petro more and more. We have seen a lot of Hackney. It's really Gunrunner that's kind of fallen to the wayside. If you're Mutineers, it's got to happen now. You're at risk of being eliminated with a loss here. You have got to pick it up, step it up. And where Pharaoh was nuts yesterday was in the Domination. That's where he was at his best. Can he have another splendid map here as Illy opens up the B site?
So I'm surprised he's able to find 2 kills there. Typically someone pre-aims that hop up. He's able to find 2. And well, behind that basically means Florida's not going to get an early B cap just yet. Now that starts for them as Skies is still alive inside. Mox watching over middle of the map, the B. Cap still not there, but you actually had a player spawn up towards that C-side for Florida, so they got a neutral behind the Skies killing spree. They're going to have an HC setup right now, and all they want to do is make sure Dallas doesn't get through towards that A flag.
Now, if you're Dallas, you rely on the killer instinct of your Clay, your Crim. You go for the jugular, you close it out here. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Dallas Empire.
Maybe already on you, Porter.
I'm looking.
Yo, another one, top hill.
One top green window. Top green window, jumped out. Pocket.
Top hill.
To our door, one pocket. Our door. Watch out, pocket, 1 bullet. Nice.
Let's go, man.
Nice flip, boys.
I think there's one more right.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, he is Fork, I'm pretty sure.
I spawned C. Fork, go to Cap C. I'm neutraling C. That's 4 dead. I'm neutraling C. They're gonna spawn green.
Oh, yo, Fork. Oh, green, Fork, Mox.
One shot, Pharaoh C.
I don't see him.
Pharaoh's on C, 1
I don't
bullet.
see this guy green.
Green snake.
I saw green half full.
One top.
Go for it. Porter, go C. Porter, go C. Trust me.
Okay.
Top hill.
Everyone get kills. Everyone has to get kills.
Campay.
Single crate.
Someone campay.
Bottom dead.
Campay. Top third.
Big guys.
Top third.
I'm trying to.
Campay.
I'm going back.
Green.
Wait, top 3.
I spawned green. Never mind. No, I spawned. There's one C on you.
Yo, mid-map.
Hitting what?
I got
I
a
don't know.
neutral.
Hit the door. Watch out the door. Pharaoh. Nice.
Got him.
Green archer. Put your right pocket.
Watch right.
Our door
That
dead.
was him. Good shit.
Yo, one bottom L, Skies bottom L. Weak, I hit him with a bullet.
I saw top third.
I spawned green.
Hey, you gotta get across. Somebody camp A. Somebody has to camp A.
Yeah. Campay.
I spawned back.
There's one ticket. I got 2 tickets. I'm going green now.
Actually, no, I'm wrong.
On A, guys. They spawned A.
Yeah, fuck. I'm getting
I
C.
have
your fork.
Yo, help me A. Let's go.
Hey, top B2.
I got C.
I'm just holding fork.
He's on A. He's stunned. He's not stunned.
Go. 2 push up right. Fork. 2.
Yo, one on me. Yeah. All right, back half off.
Well, out of it we go. Empire up 14 with a 2 cap at C and B. Anything you really liked about that listen-in?
I mean, they were just, calling out where they were spawning, where we should go, where we should focus. You heard Clay a couple times. They're spawning A. We need to focus on that, but doesn't happen. They're still holding a CB setup. Remember, they're spawning on that weaker side. But yeah, I just think you heard it in there. Like, they were hyping each other up. It sounds like they are focused. The energy is there. It's what you want to see.
That's actually what I took from it the most, when Clay was kind of gassing up Illy. Like, I love that stuff. Gas up your young stars. Get them locked in. And look at Illy. 10-6 right now, leading the way for all Slayers. Shotzi continues to hunt. Tries to help out Krim, but Krim dropped right before he gets there. Nice little crossfire with Illy, and now they're onto the A site. The flip will come in with 2 minutes remaining. That's exactly what you want from Empire. Perfect push towards that A side of the map.
Yeah, now they're starting to get all the kills, and you have them spawning deep in that office area. Yeah, Mux all the way back yellow, just trying to start the push from that L side. As they get mid-map, they're starting to get a lot of kills, and now Florida, what do you want to do here? And it looks like they're actually going to flip. I mean, so a few players from Dallas are spawning towards that grease out. It's an opportunity for them to both get A and B.
But Illy's still here. Illy stays alive, and they get some help from Shotzi, and they'll get both. So it'll be B site control for Mutineers. Both points on the outskirts for Empire. If you're Mutineers, this last 60 seconds has to be good. Like, you're at risk of going down 40 plus. Like, this Dom's almost over before we even talk about the second half, unless they chip away at this lead a bit. Farrell trying to get something going, wins a gunfight he probably shouldn't have.
Almost looked like Krim either ran out of ammo or stopped shooting. Yeah. Like, he just felt like he had the kill secured.
Thought Farrell was dead to rights.
Yeah, yes, they're going to get A, but when they're getting A, they're losing B. They are not gaining any points right now. This deficit will continue to grow.
Felt like all half. One step forward, one step back. One step forward, one step back. They just were never able to really secure a 2-cap, as Empire enjoyed that for most of the first half, and a reason they've got this big lead, 85 points on the board. They just outplayed them for these 5 minutes.
They sure did. And now you talk about Dallas starting on that A side. And you know, with the lead and domination, we talk about it a lot. You can just sort of play around those flags. You can play around the neutrals. You can send someone wide on a flank to get the home flag. It just makes it that much tougher. But if there is a map that you can come back with this big of a deficit, it is Hackney, right? This is where you can find those 3 caps come in.
They've got to do some work in these opening couple minutes. They absolutely have to. What's your mentality right now if you're Mutineers? You know this is your last map, potentially. You're down 40 going into the second half. What the hell are you thinking?
I mean, just see what we can do, right?
Yeah,
Let's try to.
So you're not thinking we're screwed.
Yeah. But some of them may be thinking that.
Yeah. Just got to ignore the scoreboard away. Like, you have to come back, but just bit by bit. Not what you'd like off the opening with your entire team dying in A-B control for Empire. This has to change. It has to change immediately. Every single push from Mutineers needs to be quality. They've got to get something out of it. And they're taking their time with this big push. An entry from Ox and Havoc. Can they find more? Who can't get a kill either as Havoc snaps back. So they're getting the push to A. They're getting B as well. Frosty now, it's his turn to go big. He's going to have a one-on-one with Clayster, I believe, coming up. Can he get the neutral? He's able to do that. Now, stun out, smoke out. A spawn comes in to help Clay. That's a big one-on-one. He takes that there.
Well, I think with the cap, though, he actually influences spawns, though. So you're going to have...
Oh, yeah, I thought they were going to spawn out when I looked at it.
Yeah, once he gets the cap, they spawned at A. Now it's on Havoc to try to defend this. They still have AB. This is good. That's going to be 4 dead for Dallas. And now you can start holding this, maybe start working a neutral towards C. But the kills have to continue to come in. You have to lock Dallas in towards this C side, and you can see what Dallas is doing. Instead of pushing on through towards A, they are wrapping back towards C. They are making sure they hold on to 1.
And they can win it holding this 2-cap, but you got to hold it forever, basically, right? You got to hold it. You got to hold it the whole damn game. So can they do that, or do they get a little bit more risky and work on the 3-cap for the neutral? Right now, it looks like they're just trying to lock him in. Hold it in, pin him down. You die though in top L, so that's an opening for Empire now to get through. Gonna fall to Mox in top vent. He's so worried about multiple angles. His teammates should be able to pick that up. You think he could just be pre-aimed there. Like, he has teammates spawning out that should be able to watch that angle from mid.
Yeah,
he continues to hold the window. He's got a free kill.
Yeah, it's all right, though, because Farrell and Frosty might have...
Bailed him out?
Yeah, I think just bailed him out right there. But, yeah, you kind of said it. It felt weird. Maybe the comms were off there, because...
You look at the minimap, he's got 3 players that should be able to see that push.
That's what I was talking about. This lane has to be there from Florida, and it's Starting to heat up for them.
Down 40 at the half. Now, down to 20 with this tick.
Gotta get some nades on it. They have to try to get him off a B. I don't know if they're gonna be able to. The neutral is coming in. The cap is there. They have to flip this soon. And the pressure is already there, but one player spawns towards C. That's gonna be Havoc. He's gonna be going for the neutral. They have to hold both flags.
He spawns C, and you want a big gunfight, I believe, in Skies as they push towards A. Can they hold on both sides? So far, they've held. That's Mox that goes big. They're able to pick up C, so you're right back into a 2-cap.
All right, so Havoc goes down, but now they have to go to B. They have to get on to B right now. You're going to have one player start that cap. Middle of the map, Frosty's going to be able to win it, so this A-B hold, it might be right back in favor of Florida, and it is. So a nice job. Obviously, they get bailed out a little bit because Havoc spawns towards that C flag, but at this point, I feel like you just expect
that happens. Well, to be fair, Empire was pushing towards A, so there was a presence out towards front A. But in those opportunities, you just have to take care of it. It wasn't just the spawn, but they won the fights towards A as well. So they did it all.
All right, what is Dallas doing? I think they're just going to try to stack. They're going to try to stack B and get this neutral. Illy with a nice shot on the Havoc, but Frosty's here. Mox is there. The slang has picked up so much for Florida.
Nice win again. Big one-on-one there from Havoc to make sure Empire can't influence the spawn today and get any kind of flip. Down 13, enough time remaining to get the W if they can hold this 2-cap. What looked to be an Empire sweep, an Empire 3-0, now at risk as Mutineers have come alive. Can they lock it down over these final 60 seconds?
It's always right that Dallas, what they're just trying to do is group up and make a 5-man push, but every time one or two are getting picked off, they have to slow down again. The comms are probably like, all right, we need to regroup. It's one push, but that time, it is dwindling. That deficit is dwindling. Clay and Illy, maybe with the openings middle of the map as they find some kills. Can Florida hold on?
This is it. This is the big moment now. There's a big push coming in from Empire.
That's 4 down. It's all 5 down. This might be it. Illy pushes on through. The neutral is in. The cap is in. He immediately gets onto this A flag.
In the final 30 seconds, Empire ripped the heart out of the chest of the Mutineers. What a valiant comeback it was. One of the better comebacks we've seen in Domination, but it's just not enough with that final push and final wave. Empire go huge, and they will take this series 3-0 and set up for a Dayton bracket play versus Optic Gaming.
Got a little scary there, a little
that
scary.
Was wild. That was awesome. I mean,
we typically don't see 2-cap holds like that, right? I mean, with how chaotic and fast-paced this game can be, you see a lot of neutrals, but Florida, they were just hanging on. And when they had to recap B, they got it as soon as possible. A much closer match than this one is saying in a 3-0. They played well.
50-point Hardpoint, 10-round search and destroy, and what comes out about 7 points, was it? So that was a very, very close 3-0. But they couldn't quite bring it back. Checking out the stats, any big key takeaways for you, Joe?
I mean, Skies, again, just continues to lead the way for Florida. Even just look at the damage. On the other side, it was pretty well-rounded from the Dallas Empire. Illy and Krim leading the way for them. I'm excited for this semifinal now. Dallas versus
Are we
Optic
commentating that one? I hope so. I hope so. That should be fun. Just the storylines within that particular series. I think there's a lot to go on with that matchup. Optic versus Dallas. We still have a couple other matches to round out what our semifinals are going to look like, but that's just our first best of 5 and 5 today here in Los Angeles. It's Sunday, your final day for Los Angeles home series event. Only one LA team still alive. How far can Dallas go? And does it lie on the shoulders of this man? We've got Crimsix on stage with Rich.
Well, we talked about what it takes to be the perfect Call of Duty player. If we could take body parts from every player, we'd use this solid chassis right here, the Porterhouse. Hey, you didn't see that? Well, now...
I saw it. Trust me, I saw it.
What did you think of that?
I thought that was the most hideous human being ever created. And
well, it used your torso, so we'll talk about that later. First, we got to do our PlayStation. Instant reaction. You played fantastic in that series. I want to talk about your team as a whole, though. Right now, when you match up against two of the top squads right now. I'm looking at FaZe, I'm looking at the Huntsmen. Those matchups have been tough for you guys. What's going on there?
Honestly, we're making like small mistakes, and those are the two best teams in the world, so they're going to obviously punish us on them. So that's what's happening.
One of the things I said about those two squads is if you manage to beat them, it'd be a better revenge story than a linear cat. We'll see if we're going to be able to get that, but we know you're going up against Optic. What do you think about this team now that they've made some changes here at this tournament?
I'm excited to play them. I mean, you know, that's basically like my old team mixed with the old 100T team. So I think it's, you know, another home series here. We're playing the home team again in winners semis. So, or winners, yeah. I don't know what the hell it is, but JCap, I'm coming for you.
All right, JCap, you better be ready. We're jumping to it.
Cap, I'm never gonna unblock you on Twitter, ever.
We're going to a quick break. I'm going to drop this right here for Krim. We'll be back after this.